Patriarchal in Hebrew history. 5. From the birth of Isaac to Jacob's journey to Padan, Aram. Genesis 21 through 28. A.M. 2107 to 2244. BCE 1897 to 1760. Abraham's character is one of the most interesting in the New Testament history, or indeed in any history. He is among the few great men of all time. There is a majesty and dignity about him that is seldom equaled. In Islam, the discriminations are not held and distinctions are not invented about the prophets, but it is all the more remarkable from the fact that his situation is not such as to call into exercise the great energies of a great mind. The chief traits about him are his moral courage, his extraordinary faith, his profound religious convictions, all of which are evinced in his separation from his people, and beginning a wandering life among strangers, his generosity and magnanimity, as evinced in his conduct towards Lot and on other occasions, and his dignity of demeanor and power to command respect, which we see in his intercourse with all the princes and great men with whom he came into communication. They instinctively honored him. He appears also to have been a man of large intelligence and extraordinary wisdom. That he was not free from moral infirmities is evident, and the scriptural account sets them plainly before us, as the Bible is wont to do. Age of Abraham at the birth of Isaac. Genesis 21:5. What great feast is mentioned, and what happened at that time? Genesis 21:8 through 21. The subsequent history of Ishmael and his race. You know, the older son gets twice the thing, and you find out the Ishmaelites versus the Israelites in ancient times really were supposed to be and the other rejected children of Abraham, really. Anyway, at Genesis 25:12, the offspring of Isaac. Genesis 22:2 through 14. What virtue did Abraham manifest here in a remarkable manner? Renewal of the divine covenant. Genesis 22:15 through 19. How many times is this covenant repeated in the history? Death and burial of Sarah. It means rebellious, doesn't it, or something? Honorary. Genesis 23. The first record in history of the use of money. Well, first mentioned in the Bible. 8 through 16 of 23. Selection of a wife for Isaac. Genesis 24. Reasons for seeking one at such a distance. Genesis 24:3. The account of the journey of Abraham's servant, what occurred at the end of it. Genesis 24:10 through 35. Departure of Rebekah and the meeting with Isaac. Genesis 24:58 through 67. Birth of Esau and Jacob. Difference in their character and style of life. Genesis 25, verse 27. How Jacob, who was the younger, who came to have preeminence, which belonged to Esau. Genesis 25, verse 29 through 34. Well, Esau was sort of the more natural living sort of guy, but Isaac's sojourn in Gerar and his false statement about his wife, his prosperity, and his trouble with his neighbors, Genesis 26. Esau's marriage and its effect on his parents. Why was this? Genesis 26, 34 and 35. Jacob's fraud upon his father and against his brother, his mother's influence. Genesis 27, 1 through 24. He is constituted the head of the family and receives the paternal and prophetic blessing. Genesis 27, 26 through 29. Esau's discovery of the fraud. Genesis 27, 30 through 36. Had Esau, who had bartered away his right, any real occasion to complain? Was Jacob's deception and general conduct therefore justifiable? The purpose to send Jacob to his mother's relatives. Genesis 27, 42 through 46. Twofold reason for this. Genesis 28, 1 through 9. And so the great figures in history, right? So Abraham, Moses,